Hi, in this session we are going to discuss with Redux framework. So Redux is a React.js library to design with complex applications where state management is possible in a very well structured manner. Redux is mainly to manage the state across the application, to initialize the state, to update the state, and to perform any kind of changes with the state of the application by using a standard components into Redux framework. It's a third-party library which can be integrated with React applications. So main thing is in Redux, like we can always predict the state of our application. We can predict the application by means of making use of reducer functions and as well as store where we can manage with the data. So mainly in Redux, to work with a plain Redux application without any third-party additional libraries, at least minimum three dependencies we need to install with. One is Redux, and the next is Redux React Redux, and then DevTools for Redux framework. And further, to connect with the HTTP calls, Axios library, Fetch library, and to connect with the third party, like we can also integrate with the React Thunk library, React Saga, we can make use of. And further, if we wanted to add with the Bootstrap components for our application, we can also use with the React Bootstrap or React Strap. So that is all the optional libraries we will be using with Redux application. And in Redux application, mainly three important factors we have to understand. Okay, so the three principles will be taken care into React applications with Redux library. So what are the three major principles? So single source of truth, where the whole state of your application for entire application is managed with one single store. So we will be maintaining with one store object where it's a React function where we will be managing with the entire data related to the application. And any changes, any updates needed, everything taken place at that store only. Next is always the store in the Redux application is read only. Whereas in a simple React framework based applications, so the state can be updatable by using React hooks, React set state method, etc. But using this Redux framework, so the principle is always the state should be managed across the application read only. And here we will be using some callback methods, event emitters, so to update the changes affected to the state component. So in a reducer function, whenever the state has to be modified, we will be taking the state components into a temp variable, and in which we will update the content and we will set back the content to the state. And next is always the changes made to the application were made by using a pure functions. So pure functions are nothing but we are going to write a function where we are not going to change the content of the application. That means the state of the application. This can be achieved by using a new type of a function called as a reducer function. Reducer is a part of our Redux framework. So these three principles are taken care into every Redux application. Then let us look into what are the different components of Redux application. So whenever we work with the Redux library based applications, there are three main components play the major role, and there are some more components also comes into picture. So actions. So actions are what needs to be implemented for that particular application. How many number of actions need to be decided for an application. We will be deciding. We will be creating with one action types class and the actions. So that will decide the flow of your application. It is just like your API calls, like how many number of endpoints we have for our application. Similarly, here the number of actions will decide the flow of the application. Next is reducer. Reducer is a pure function where the application state management can take place. And coming to store, store is a single component for the whole application where it is going to manage the required amount of data for entire application. We cannot have multiple stores into Redux framework based applications. So there is a single store per application. And further we will be using with, there is a dispatcher methods, and as well as we will have also connect. So the flow of the application would be always there is an action triggered whenever an action type is matching. The action is triggered along with this payload. Okay, the dispatcher will send an action, so that based on the action matched, the reducer is going to perform with any type of a logic related to our application. It is going to call your callback methods, it perform and it update the state, and then it is going to call an emitter methods, and that methods are going to update your content through your views. So this is always in a cyclic manner. The unidirectional flow of data is mainly maintained into Redux application by means of single source of truth. Means we are going to maintain a single store across the application, and we are going to make use of pure functions by means of reducers to achieve the logic. And actions are going to give the number of actions defined in that particular application. These are all the main components of Redux application. And here you can also see the sequence of events triggered by a Redux application. Always there is a store which is getting updated. That store components are getting emitted by means of a provider component, and there is a container in which the component is going to be rendered with, and the component is always can have some multiple actions triggered by the end user. And whatever action we trigger, so that functionality is getting handled by your producer functions. So this is what is the flow of a Redux application. And mainly in this, like how do we define our actions, and what exactly is the action? So action which sends the data to your application, and this defines the name of the action, which is called as an action type. And also every action will have the action name and as well as payload, like what kind of data we are giving as an input for every action. And second is a reducer. Reducer is a function where we will be performing with the state related logics. Like we will be receiving first the action type. Whenever the action type is matches, so it will receive the payload, and based on the requirement we will construct the logic and we will perform the logic, and we will also at the end of our reducer function we will return back the state. And if any kind of initialization is needed for state, we will be doing that with a state component. Means we write a state and where we will take the initialized data. So here itself always we are calling it as a pure function. Means reducer is one of a pure function of Redux application. We can have multiple reducers based on the complexity of our application. And the next another important component is called store. Store is where the actual state of our component, our application is getting managed with. So whatever may be the size of your application, whatever may be the number of components present in your application, there will be a single store where the whole data can be manageable here. And this store is going to have your content. There is a single store, and that store is always given back to your provider component. Provider is going to render your application content. So per application always here is a single store. Coming to in Flux framework based applications, we can have the multiple stores. Next is the dispatch method. So in Redux we are also going to use with a dispatch method, whereas in Flux we will be using a dispatcher class, but here it is going to be a method we are going to call with. So this dispatch is going to invoke your pure functions to perform with your logics, and it finally is going to return your component. And coming to connect is another function which is always used connected with your React libraries to your Redux. Redux based containers, providers and other Redux library components. So let us look into the example so that we can continue with one hands-on example. So finally, like why should we use Redux is mainly to manage your state of your application globally, so that the whole data can be manageable by one single store and can be manageable by the pure functions called as a reducer functions. And here is the state of component can be easily predicted, and you can keep track of your component state timely manner. And here it is Redux can be integrated with lots many other third party tools like dev tools, and as well as your middleware Thunk library or middleware Saga library, and also HTTP API libraries called Axios and Fetch API to perform with the to integrate with any backend application. So let us dive into our hands-on application. So here I have configured with one simple application where we can load data from backend fake API. Here I am using with, means we are not taking any data from MongoDB or any other backend database. Just I created a JSON file, and this JSON file is having with a set of user details. So it's nothing but simple key value pairs, a set of records of users. So always in React we have a library called as JSON server. So JSON server is a library which is used to manage with your JSON files. So that is a library we need to install with. So we need to install with the install JSON server concurrently. Why concurrently is required is we are going to run our JSON server and as well as NPM server concurrently. JSON server will be holding your data to manage with at the backend, and your NPM server is going to manage with your React application. So both has to run concurrently. That is the reason we are we are installing our JSON server library concurrently. So in my system it is already installed with, still if you wanted to install this library, just you need to run with this server. So this is what is a command you have to give with. So why do we give this npm server is to manage your data. Like let's say you wanted to manage your, I have a data called in a public folder, data.json. So here we can see I am showing you the content data.json. This is a content. To manage with the data we need that server. So that's the reason we are installing that JSON server. So once we, I am once again showing you the process of installing it. Whenever you install this JSON server, it takes few seconds to update your JSON library. Once the JSON server is ready, so this server can be started with, I'll show you the next steps. To start this server, just you will be giving the command call. You can give a command here. In your application, go to the folder where you have got that JSON file, and here you have to give the command called JSON server space your file name. So if it is a data JSON, just you give your data JSON. If it is a user JSON, whatever file name you have, you need to give that command. Right, the same thing we are going to check it now. So now our JSON server is getting, library is getting installed. Once the installation is done, we can start our server. Go to the public folder where we have got our JSON file. Here is our JSON data JSON. Right, let me start the server and then let us open with the data.json file. So once the server is started, we must able to read that data file which is loaded with the user.json file. So the URL it is giving called users, and the port number it is running is 3000. Let's check whether the data is ready or not. So I'm opening the 3000 port where it is giving a URL called server. Once the backend server is running only, we are able to view the content. Right. So here is the first step we have done to read a JSON fake data by using your JSON server, and we are checking with how do we integrate this backend data with our React application using Redux. The next step. So what further libraries are needed for our application? So further we need some more libraries called Okay, set of libraries, React Redux, React Strap for Bootstrap. Okay, and then there is no other further libraries we are going to use with. In the part 2, I am going to show you the same integration with the JSON fake data with Thunk, React Thunk library and Axios library. But this is a plain Redux application where we are not using any kind of additional library other than our Redux. Clear? This is a set of libraries you need to make a note. And these many number of libraries has to be installed for our application. So here, once our JSON server is ready, you can observe the few changes into our application. When you open your package.json file, whenever the JSON server is installed, we will be getting here the library what we have installed. Here you can see that debug scripts. Okay, so we need to add with the dependencies. So what are the dependencies we need to add here? You can see here, this is the 2 entries you have to make in your package.json file. In the package.json, in the scripts, okay, you need to add these 2 more entries. The first one is you need to specify that my JSON server is going to run with our whatever our file name is there. You need to specify your file name, data.json, right? What is the file name you have to run with, and then the other things is you are going to run with the start concurrently and JSON server concurrently. So you need to give these 2 entries for your application. Once this is done, save your package.json. Now let's move on to our application. So in our application, this application is designed mainly to load this set of user details which is coming from our JSON file, okay, by using API call. We are going to design with a plain Redux application. First of all, we need to design with actions. So how many number of actions are present in our application? There are 2 actions. One action is get users. The second action is get user success. So initially get user success will be false, and then get users is based on the event we trigger, based on the action we perform, get users action get triggered with. Whenever we call get users action, it doesn't require any input. So we will not pass any payload here. So get users function is going to trigger your action called get users. Get user success is another function which is triggered by an action called get user success. So this is an action class we are creating here. There are 2 actions. And once the 2 actions are created here, okay, the next application we need is app.js. In the app.js, first thing is we have to connect with the backend database. So where are we connecting here? So the URL where our users fetch API is running, first our server should be kept open and our data should be available. Once this is ready, here in app.js, first we are going to use with a fetch API. Fetch API is to read the data coming from your backend. It can be any third party API call. It can be data coming from the database. You need to give the URL where from the data coming from. In our example, just we are loading the data from JSON fake API. So we are just loading the data from that JSON API call that is called users. So here this is the API will give you a set of user records loaded with this fetch command. And in this fetch, it is going to give you a response where that response contains your user details. As soon as this is completed, you are going to have loaded with the data, but that data will not be loaded unless until you perform an action, because we created here an event, on click event. Whenever we call this, okay, we are going to invoke the function called hand load users click. So this is how the function is triggered, then only the data is loaded. It is not like onload operation. Unless until we click the button, it will not load the user details. That is about your app component. This is going to perform with a simple form creation where you will have a button. Once a button is clicked, your data is loaded. But once the data is loaded here, okay, how are we going to display the data? So here you can see we are going to process with the data called your props. Once the props is available, props.users, the users data is available from your store. We will see once the data is loaded by using your ordered list, and you're going to make use of your key, and then you're going to load with username and email. And next is the another important part into our application called configure store. So here is the store where we are going to create a store where the data can be manageable. There is a single store for your application. You are creating a root store. So as soon as the preloaded state is updated by your reducer function, okay, the data is available here, and that store is going to be updated back to your application app.js file. So who will load your state? So that is done by your pure function called reducers. In the reducers, we are going to manage with the initial state first. So initial state is nothing but first your number of users will be null, an empty array. So that empty array, where are we defining this initial state is just for modularization, we have created a separate file. Otherwise, we can write this array there itself in the reducers itself. So first we are creating a user array empty, and the property called is loading as a false. Now when you go to reducers, that users is loaded here. Once the initial state is users is empty array, whenever the action is triggered, means when the user is going to perform with get users, now it is going to is loading will become true, and it will load all the user details. Once all the user details is available here, it will return the state. It will not return your user details, it will return the state, because state contains your all the internal information across your application. So here is the state is always immutable. So we are loading with your data, and the action is taken place called get users. Your data is loaded. So as soon as reducers completes this logic, okay, configure store, the store get created, and this will return the store. Where are we going to use this store? This store we are going to make use into our index.js. In the index.js, we are going to get the store here, and by using provider, we are going to update our store details. So how do we manage with this? Okay, how are we going to check this application? Just let us start with the application. Here is one thing you have to remember, like already our application is running on the port number 330. Now it will say that there is an application running already on the port. So it's your responsibility that you need to configure your npm server on a different port. So what it is saying here, yes, do you wanted to run it on a different port? If you give yes, then it will search for 3001 and it will start your server on a different port. So this application is purely with the Redux framework, where we are making use of all Redux components, like that is actions, stores, reducer functions, right? And here once the server is started, now if you go here, the component is loaded. This is a component we have configured with our app.js. So this is a app.js is creating with a button and is saying that okay, React Redux reading from data, and there is an unordered list. Initially it is empty unless until we click this button, okay, the event is triggered. When the event is triggered, okay, first it will load the data from the backend. At the same time, it will look into the actions. The action is matched with get users. So get users, it is going to change your state by means of your reducer. Then store get updated. That store value will be given back to the provider in the index.js. That provider will get the store value and it will display. So that is what is a simple event here. Whenever you click on load users, right, it is going to load the data. This is the same data what we have in the backend. Clear, guys? So this is how we can perform with a plain Redux application to load the data based on the event. So based on the event is nothing but when we click on these, the data should be loaded with. That's all this Redux application by making use of all Redux components. Further, the same application can be extended with multiple endpoints, that is nothing but multiple actions. Like you can also perform with add user details, delete user details, update user details. You can extend the same application. So you can have some references to make use of CRUD based Redux application. Then thank you.